Are you in danger of showing one-sided love in your parenting? Do you even know that there's two sides of love? Before I talk about that, I want to tell you a story. So I went horseback riding one time. It's kind of like driving a car, except you're steering a huge monster beast that has its own brain. For me, that was terrifying. However, I did remember one thing. In order to steer your horse, you need to grab the rein with both hands. And you have to understand holding the correct amount of tension in both hands. If you increase the tension one direction, it steers the horse one way. If you increase the tension in another direction, it steers the horse the other way. Here's the thing. In our society, we don't really do very well in holding two things in tension with each other, especially if they're seeming opposite ideas. But here's the deal. There's actually two sides to the coin of love. One side of that coin is the comforting, nurturing side of love. The other side of that coin is the boundary-setting, challenging side of love. In order for us to develop as people, we need both sides of love in operation in our life. And in order for us to see our children become the fruitful people they're supposed to be, we need to exhibit both sides of love for our children. We need to ask ourselves, what is love?
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
People like my grandparents grew up in homes and they were raised with more of a focus on the challenging boundary setting side of love. Then our culture slowly swung the other direction to nowadays, people pretty much just want to show the comforting, nurturing side of love. However, for love to be complete, it needs to be both comforting and nurturing and boundary setting and challenging. Let me give you an example with the bedtime routine when my kids were little. In that bedtime routine, there would be taking a bath and brushing their teeth. Now, most kids don't enjoy brushing their teeth because it takes time from other things that they would rather be doing. However, if I'm going to be a good parent, I need to exhibit the boundary setting side of love and say, hey, you need to go brush your teeth because one day this might result in pain for you in getting cavities or teeth removed.
I'm a superhero. I don't need to brush my teeth.
Now, also embedded in our bedtime routine is some comforting and nurturing sides of love. There's tickling, there's laughing, there's wrestling, there's story reading. So in order for love to be complete, both sides of the coin of love need to be present while parenting. Now, here's a challenge. Sometimes in our relationships with our partners, one person might be better at exhibiting a certain side of love. In our home, I'm naturally gifted with the ability to show the comforting, nurturing side of love. My wife is much better at being a boundary setter and a challenger. That can be challenging and can result in conflict. However, if you work together as a team, you can both exhibit both sides of love. What we have done is we talk to each other behind the scenes in order to give the other person the opportunity to exhibit the other side of love. For example, my wife might come to me and say, hey honey, remember to tell the kids to brush their teeth before bed. Where normally I would just be kind of in la la land and not paying attention. I take the role as being the representative of the boundary setting, challenging side of love. And I say, hey kids, it's time to brush your teeth. Let's drop what you're doing. Time to brush those teeth. That allows her the opportunity to be the good parent or represent the pleasant, comforting, nurturing side of love. This strategy only works though if the parents are in agreement with this plan. Now this brings up a challenge for you single parents. I can't imagine being a single parent is extremely difficult because you have to be able to exhibit both sides of love, but it is very possible to do so. It just takes having a talk with your kids and saying, hey, I love you and I have to set boundaries for you and I'm going to love and nurture you and make sure that you feel loved. Sometimes setting boundaries doesn't feel nice. So single parents, it's okay that in one moment you put on the hat of boundary setter, and then the next moment you take off that hat and put on the hat of comforter and nurturer. It's okay to switch gears like that. Just be aware of what you're naturally good at, and then you can make the necessary adjustments in representing the other side of love so that your child becomes the most fruitful person they can be. And this will increase also the joy level and the peace level in your home. If you're enjoying this content, go ahead and give it a like, subscribe, and a share. My name's Paul, and I want you to be Kidstrong.